What's good, everybody? What's good? What's good? What's good? We got some wonderful fights going on this weekend, and hell, I'm here to talk about it. Let you talk about it, we all talk about it. But hell, let's get this started. Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What's going on, E Double? Let's jump into this. First and foremost, I want to say thank you for the support and everything else. I love you guys. I want to hop on this UFC card that's going on Saturday also. This is going to be the first one we talk about because this card is actually really packed with some good fights. You know, in the first fight, we got, what is it, Michael Chandler versus Justin Gaethje. For those of you who are initiated, Justin Gaethje is a really bad boy. He's a bad boy. And it's not too often that you get to see him on an event anymore. And Michael Chandler is one of those salty old veterans that he's been around for a while and he's probably trying to make a comeback and all these different type of things. And that's fine. I ain't got no problem with that. I really don't. It's just, do I see him winning this fight? Nah, I don't. And then there's another good fight on it. Frankie Edgar versus Marlon Vera. Anybody who knows Frankie Edgar, he's kind of over the hill, but then he's kind of not. Sometimes he'll fight like he's the old Frankie Edgar, and then other times it looks like Father Time that caught up to him. I don't know what to say about that. Honestly, it's weird with him. And then Thug Rose, Rose Namajunas. She, Frankie Edgar, a gatekeeper now. You know, you can actually kind of say that along with Michael Chandler. You know what I'm saying? They're kind of, they're the old school. You know, when you were first getting introduced to UFC, those were the names that you heard of. Oh, shoot, Frankie Edgar fighting. They got a fight going on. Whoop-de-whoop, whoop-de-whoop. And it was always exciting to watch him. I remember his fights with Benson Henderson. Good fights. Really good fights. And with Uriah Faber. Good fights. It's just Edgar's getting old. Frankie is getting old, man. But Rose, see, the last fight she's had with what's this girl's name? How do you say it? Zhang. Okay, this is the third fight they're having. The first fight, Zhang actually dropped Rose on her head and knocked her out like that. And Rose was not right after that. The second fight, she finished her off with a brilliant head kick. It was timed so perfectly. And I don't see how she outdoes that performance. The only thing I can say is Rose does not want to roll with this girl. She wants to stand up and strike with her because rolling with Zhang can actually not work in your favor because she's used to wrestling and everything like that. But then in the main event, Kamaru Usman versus Colby Covington. Usman, he only has one defeat. And that one defeat was off of a technicality. Just like John Jones. Off of a technicality. This dude, he's vicious. He's vicious. He's beaten all the top stars so far. He's beaten Covington already. He's beaten Ronnie Burns, so on and so on. in that welterweight division. I don't see a situation where he loses, and I just see dominance. This man is dominant. He will eventually go down as one of the greatest welterweight champions in UFC history. Like, seriously. And anybody can quote me on that. You really can. Now, there's a lot of talk between whether he could take Khabib. And I think about that like, well, Khabib is not really in his weight class. And, to fight Khabib, you would have to go through Conor. And I think Usman could beat Conor. I think he could beat the hell out of Conor, if you asking me. So I just see that event not really lasting long. It's not going to go to full 5 rounds. It's going to end in 3. It's going to end in 3 rounds. But that's enough of that. Enough of UFC, because that's not what we're here for. We're here for boxing. We're here for boxing. And some news came across me today that my boy, a fighter that I like, Mr. Virgil Ortiz Jr., has officially left Robert Garcia and is training with Eddie Reynoso. That's big news. That is big news. That is really big news, because if you look at Eddie Reynoso's stable, it's pretty clear that he's trying to build a stable of champions. And for him to be able to take on Virgil, it shows that Virgil is really serious about his career. He's seen the shine that Jaron Ennis is getting, Boots. He's seeing that. And he's seeing the admiration that he's getting. He's seeing the recognition, all these different words, adjectives that you can use to describe it. And he's thinking to himself, why not me? Why not me? So the best way to fix something like that is to put yourself in a situation where you can succeed the most. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. He has, what's this? Oscar Valdez, Canelo Alvarez, Andy Ruiz, and now this guy. It's about to be hell to tell the captain. Excuse me. It's been a long day, y'all. It's been a long day. So I look for mega fights to start happening for this guy. And just to be honest, if Ryan Garcia was smart, he would hop on this train too. If Ryan Garcia was smart and he wanted to get the adoration that he feels like he deserves, not just be a social media boxer, but be an actual boxer, if I was him, I would leave Golden Boy and go hook up with Eddie. Because as soon as he does that, he's going to be in high favor. He's going to have all the smoke he wants because of who he signed with. And I think that's going to do him some good. Get him in the ring. There should be no reason for Ryan Garcia to not be fighting. No reason at all. There is no reason Ryan Garcia should not be in anybody's boxing ring right now. Or at least on somebody's card. Ryan needs that. And I feel like getting with Eddie Reynoso would do that for him. It really would. But it's just about, does he want it? Does he want to be the pretty boy who hasn't fought anybody but feels like he's great, or does he want to actually be great? Does he really want to be great? Does he want to be that guy? And I don't know. But that's a question that you can ask about a lot of these young fighters. Do they really want to be the guy? Do they really want to be great? Some of them I can answer, unequivocally, yes. They want to be great. They want to be that. But show me. I'm from Missouri, so you're going to have to show me. Now, I want to see the card. I want to see the full fight card for this Caleb Plant versus Canelo Alvarez fight. But first, I want to take a second to shout out Homeboy Slick, GMT Boxing, NJR Media, New Growth Realty. You're looking for a house in the Missouri, Illinois area, hit up New Growth Realty. And if you're looking for advice in the state of Georgia, I believe it is, hit up New Growth Realty, and they will get you straight. They will get you straight. Take it from me. I'm Polo. Polo never lies to you. All right. Let's look at the tail of the tape. We got Canelo versus Plant. We know that. Canelo's 31 years old. Caleb is 29. Still relatively young in his career. Height. Canelo's 5'9". Caleb is 6'1". Reach. All right, hold on. Let me drop the link. Hold on. Let me get this going so you can gloat about your Seahawks. Oh, Lord. I didn't know it was going to be that type of night. I got to do it the old-fashioned way since I'm on a laptop. Oh, Lord. But why you call me picklehead? That's rude. That's rude as hell. Dang. I've been nothing but kind to you. You want to call me picklehead? Jeez. That's mean. Let me see. Forgive me. Let me get it in there. I gotta do this stuff the hard way. All right, there it is. There's the link for you. Don't get on here talking crazy. talking crazy. I ain't did nothing to you, man. I ain't did nothing to you. Oh. But I got, for the fight, I got Caleb Plant winning. Because he's the home team. Like I said in my video earlier, you gotta root for the home team. Caleb effing Plant. I'm rolling with Caleb. What's going on, man? We won this one for Tennessee. Yes. Support Caleb. That's what I want. We got to support Caleb. He is an American fighter. Is he or is he not? Technically, Canelo isn't. He's really not. So we have to support our American fighters. We have to. Because if we don't, who will? I was looking at the presser. I was looking at all that different type of stuff, the weigh-in, all that different type of jazz. And it looked like Caleb had no support at all. It looked like he didn't have anybody there in his corner except for his team. Granted, that's his team. They supposed to. But where are we at? Seriously, where are we at? Like, that's our guy. Think about what it does for him if he knocks off Canelo. We start to get the other fights we want. Wouldn't you want to see a Caleb Plant versus a Charlo? I would. I would. And in my opinion, all of this is predicated on the outcome of this fight. But it's just a small sect, E-double. It's a small sect. It's a bunch of people saying, oh, hell, this white boy can't fight. This white boy can't fight. This white boy about to get knocked out. And I think that's ass backwards. I think that is ass backwards. How are we as American boxing fans more excited to see the foreign fighters than our own fighters? Granted, I get it. Caleb doesn't have the best personality. I wouldn't either if I was him. This is boxing. It's not summer camp. It's a lot of people who don't watch boxing that make assumptions about boxing. That's what that is. It's a lot of people who don't actually watch the sport to take a chance to understand what the hell is going on. And I don't understand it. I don't get it. And you know what? I'm tired of trying to understand it. So I'm just gonna do my part. I'm rolling with Caleb. I'm rolling with Caleb. I'm rolling with this man. Hell, he always tell you can't take nothing from a poor man. And that's a fact. That is a fact. You can't take nothing from a poor man. That poor man will fight you tooth and nail to keep whatever little he has. Yeah, we just roll with Caleb. We rolling with Caleb. When Canelo is fighting, European boxers or whatever, okay, cool. I'll ride with Canelo. I will, because I'm more familiar with Canelo. That's cool. That's good. That's gravy. But when it comes to the home team, forget Canelo. Forget Canelo. I respect his boxing ability. I do. I respect what he does in that ring. I respect how he's grown over the years since his loss to Floyd Mayweather. I respect all of that. But when it comes to somebody that lives in my own backyard, my own neighbor, forget Canelo. I'm riding with that guy. And he's so hood anyway. He just extra light skinned. He a Tommy. For those of you who watch Power, Caleb is a Tommy. He will get in your ass. Oh, that's another thing. When you have the machine behind you, the way that Canelo does, even when you lose, you win. And that's part of the reason right there that a lot of people turn their back on the sport of boxing. And that's okay. It's just up to us who are in the know that to, put that out there. We have to be louder than the fans. We have to be louder than the fans, because there's a difference between the fans of the man and the fans of the sport. We have too many fans of the man and not a lot of fans of the sport. We have to be louder than them. We have to call out this bullcrap. We have to call out this messiness, this hypocrisy. We have to call this stuff out. We need to let this stuff be known, like, hey, this ain't right. And we're not going to stand for it. I refuse to spend another dollar. I refuse to buy another pay-per-view if this is how it's going to be. If it's not going to be fair all the way through, I don't want nothing to do with it. And that's where I'm sitting on this. I'm sitting on my high horse with this, if that's what you want to call it. Because I can't get down with this. It's embarrassing. It's really embarrassing to see how far boxing has failed just for a few dollars. Yes, this is the Money Mayweather era. But honestly, the Money Mayweather era is over with because Money Mayweather is gone. Mayweather's gone. So there's no excuse. Yes, you could try to follow his blueprint. But following his blueprint, it's going to hurt you in the long run. It's going to hurt you in the long run because not everybody has the same skills as a Floyd Mayweather. Not everybody is as talented as Floyd Mayweather. Not everybody can move like Floyd Mayweather. So there's a lot of boxers out here, and I mean a lot of them, trying to mimic instead of being themselves. And that's what's missing. No originality. And it's sad. Everybody's so worried about losing a undefeated record. Everybody's so worried about the next check. You're supposed to earn that. You're supposed to earn that check. You're not supposed to just hop in the ring with a tomato can, a gas can, anything like that, and automatically think that you're supposed to get $100,000, $100,000, $2 million, $3 million, $4 million. Hell no. That's not the way that boxing works. You have to show the fans, you have to show the boxing purist, what can you do? What do you bring to the table? What do you bring to the sport of boxing? And what I've seen over the past 5 to 10 years is a lot of mediocre boxers. And a lot of these mediocre boxers are champions because they're taking mediocre belts. But hell, I digress. This was supposed to be a good video live. It was supposed to be a peaceful live. But hell, I done turned it into a rant. Jeez. But back to Virgil. Virgil's doing the right thing. He's doing the right thing signing with Eddie. I just hope that he doesn't have any issues to where I have to use the word allegedly when speaking about him in the near future. That's my hopes. That is my only hopes right now, because I know Eddie's going to set him up in a position to where he's going to fight some top names now. I just see a situation where he's going to end up meeting Boots a lot sooner than what we think. Is that a good thing for him? No, not right now. That fight should be at least 1.5 years to 2 years away. Ain't no reason for him to be trying to fight Boots right now. Could he fight a Keith Thurman? Yeah. He could fight a Keith Thurman. And the way he fights, he might just be able to give it to Keith. He just might be able to. But hell, I don't know. I don't know. It's a strange thing because this is strange times that we living in. Like the end of the year has just been so top heavy with fights. We got Isaac Pitbull versus Gervonta, and I don't think that fight is going to go the way that people think it's going to go. Dude is hyper aggressive. Hyper aggressive. And then the JoJo Diaz versus Devin, I believe it. I believe that fight is going to happen when weigh-in happens, because JoJo has a tendency of pulling out of his fights. He has a tendency of ducking, and this isn't even alleged. It's the truth now. JoJo has been known to be a duck. Pitbull is a beast. Yes, he is a beast. Yes, he is a beast. And I think it's perfect for Tank. Honestly, I see a situation where they get in there. He pushed Tank to the limit. He pushes Tank to the absolute limit of his ability. And then Mayweather signs that boy to keep him around. To keep him around. Since Tank doesn't really want to fight at 130 or 135 anymore, put Pitbull in there. You'll have a champion eventually. Eventually, you'll have a champion, because just the recognition that he's going to get off of this fight is going to be insurmountable. He's going to be on a steady rise after this fight. But it just depends on how he performs. If he gets in there and he's starstruck and he gets KO'd in the first 2 or 3 rounds, no. But if he pushes Tank 11th, 12th round, and it's a dang near a bloodbath, both of them got a swollen eyes, bloody lips, nose, all that different type of stuff, and then Tank is actually shying away from contact, you're going to have something there. You'll have something. And what would that do if he beats him? Would that make Tank a hype job? Would that make Tank a hype job? I think so. I think so, because it's going to turn into one of those things to where it's easy for you to look good against fighters who are towards the bottom of the totem pole. But how good do you look against fighters who could actually really hold their own with you? That's an interesting one. That's really interesting. I think out of a lot of the fights that are coming up, that's probably the second, third most interesting one. And I wonder, when is Josh Taylor going to hop back into the ring? It's a lot of stuff. Like, we got a lot of stuff going on. Ooh, excuse me. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. But it's still more that we need to figure out. Still more that we need to find out. I'm not satisfied with a lot of this stuff that I'm seeing. I need more. Who is Josh Taylor going to fight? Also, are we really prepared to deal with the consequences that happens in the Terrence Crawford, Shawn Porter fallout? It's a lot. It's a lot going on. But like I said, this was going to be a quick one, real quick one. And, we will be live tomorrow from basically sun up to sundown, taking pre-fights, all that stuff. I think on Slick's end, he will be covering the Canelo fight. And then on my end, we will be live simultaneously. I'll be covering UFC. But until then, everybody, peace out.